What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I renamed it. I told you I was going to find the name for it, and I had already found the name for it, but I forgot to rename it the Dabs Podcast. Previously, the Amelia P Show, which, was a temporary name, but welcome back. My name is Amelia. I so much appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming back. I got a brand new video, and let's just get into it. So, what I wanted to talk about today is the Britney Griner situation. So there's been a lot going on. Obviously, unless you're living under a rock, you know that we are in the middle of a war, which makes the situation like we are not at war, but Russia's at war with Ukraine, which are two European powerhouses. And eventually, it is of my opinion that if we don't stop it or if we don't intervene in some way, shape, or form as allies, I'm not going to say directly using force just yet and using violence just yet. But if we don't stand up to the bully, that we already know what happens when you don't do that. The bully's going to come and who's to say he's not going to want to take the United States. Putin is crazy. He's a dictator. However you want to paint it, however you want to, try to excuse it, it's inexcusable what he's doing. He's bombing hospitals. He's bombing maternity wards. You know what I mean? This guy is crazy. He's ruthless, and it's amazing to me why people are trying to excuse or, make excuses for his behavior, or say that what he's doing is not so bad, or that he has a right to do it, this, that, and the other. So, I don't know. I'm a little confused at that. I mean, I'm all for taking back what's yours or whatever, but I don't think he's got the right to do the things that he's doing, and he's purposely targeting civilians and killing them without any regard for human life. But that's not what this video is about. That's just an intro, and that's my feeling about the war. I think it's terrible what's going on, and I think that he needs to be stopped. But I wanted to talk about Britney Griner. So, Britney Griner is a WNBA superstar, went to Baylor University, drafted by the Phoenix Mercury, one of their best players, 6'9". She plays in Russia because, as you guys know, or maybe you don't know, but if you don't know, WNBA players don't really make anything in the United States. So many of them have to go overseas to supplement their income. And oftentimes they make 3 to 4 times more than they do here, which is pretty crazy. European owners are not afraid to put money in their women's basketball teams. And that includes marketing as well as their playing salary. So a lot of women come out here and they play. I remember specifically myself, shout out to the homie Michelle Marchena, if she sees this. We used to have conversations in the locker room about how we were going to play in Spain and how we were going to play overseas, because that was literally the only way that you could play and make any kind of money. And that was the same then, and it's the same now. As far as other countries paying their women athletes more, and paying especially women basketball players more money, and just putting more money around the team in the leagues and stuff like that. So that answers the why. Some people are like, why would she be over there? Well, I mean, why would any of us move to a different country where we don't speak the language, and it's a different culture, than a totally different culture? Well, because for employment, for money, right? To be able to follow our passions, to be able to follow our dreams and do the things that we want to do. So that's what Britney Griner is. The European or the Russian team that she plays for, she makes $1 million, a little bit over $1 million, like I think it's 1.4 mil per season. She plays for, they're called UMMC. I'm gonna murder this name. Ekaterinburg. I don't know how you say it. Yeah, Ekaterinburg. And she also plays for the USA women's team. She was arrested on or around February 17th after Russian airport officials, supposedly, allegedly, found, I think it's a little over a gram of cannabis oil, weed oil, in her luggage, which I'm just going to say is not a lot. It's not a lot, but in that country, Anything over, I believe it's 2 grams, is 10 years in Russian prison, which is nuts. Nuts, 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 nuts. I mean, I don't know if I could ever go to Russia myself, but I'm not going to judge somebody who did do that and who decided to do that. But I just think that, man, those small decisions that she made, probably not even thinking about it because she's done it many times before, has got her in a situation that, man, it's it might turn into some political prisoner type stuff, and Russia is known for that. And say what you will, we as Americans know that, we have to protect other Americans from becoming prisoners of war or becoming tokens of political wars, or power showings, between governments. It's a scary situation to be in, for sure. Especially even more so, not only is she because she's a women athlete, because she's American, but also because she's gay. And, Russian culture is very, very, very homophobic. And so that doesn't help her at all. She definitely stands out. I mean, she's a huge ass 6'9" basketball player. I mean, there's no way she's not gonna stand out, all tattooed up. If you've ever heard her talk, she sounds like a freaking dude. So it's a scary situation because they can really do whatever they want. They can convict her and lock her up for 10 years for 1.5 grams of hash oil. And yeah, I understand, that she should have been smarter and she should have used better judgment. I think that's a given. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure she's kicking herself for the carelessness and for not taking better precaution and for not making better decisions on that day. But does she deserve 10 years for that lapse? I don't think so. Again, my personal opinion, I don't think so. However, it's not America, and apparently it's okay to commit war crimes over there because, you're going to tell me that you're going to incarcerate someone for hash oil, but you guys are over here bombing hospitals and bombing maternity and bombing, places where, there's infants and pregnant mothers, schools. It's just, it's crazy to me that in the year 2022 it's going on. And I really hope and pray that people wake up and that the allies and NATO and everyone just kind of stands up to Putin because, the one thing that I keep thinking about in this situation is that, it's one of the favorite quotes that we as Americans love to use when it comes to our supposed intolerance to injustice, which is injustice anywhere. It's a threat to justice anywhere. And I think it's so true. Like, we can't turn around and ignore the fact that, there are war crimes being committed right now in the name of, Russia. Not to say that it's the first time. I mean, there's been war crimes committed in the name of America. Don't get me wrong. I know that, I'm very aware that, when it came to Syria or when it came to Iraq or Afghanistan, that the United States did some crazy things. But I just think that it's a sad situation.